Hello students, this is Miss Dalton again, and this lesson is on polynomials that are in geometric form. Okay, so we're going to be looking at finding perimeter, area, and volume. When they're in geometric form, that means that they're a shape, and you're trying to find either the distance around, which would be perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around. So for perimeter, you would just add up all the sides, okay? So I'm going to put that, add all sides, okay? For the area of a rectangle, you would use the formula A equals length times width, okay? That's for area. When you want to find the volume is the length times the width times the height. Now, all of these two formulas will be on your formula chart for the STAR test, so again, you will always be able to use those formulas. Alright, so the main difference between perimeter and area. Perimeter, you are adding the sides. Area, notice what's happening in between the length and the width, you are multiplying. Okay, so that is the big difference between perimeter and area. Alright, so let's look at this first problem. It says, find the perimeter and area of the rectangle. So we're going to have two answers for number one. So let's go ahead and look at it. Alright, for perimeter, you want to go ahead and label all of your sides. So the sides that are opposite from one another will be the same measurement. So this side up here will be x plus 8. The side over on the left side, okay, that's going to be x plus 3. Okay, so perimeter means you just add up all of the sides. Okay, so we're going to add x plus 3 plus x plus 8 plus x plus 3 plus x plus 8. Okay, now let's go ahead and look for like terms. So we have 1x plus another x plus another x plus another x. So that's going to give you a total of 4x. Now remember, when you add, you're just collecting like terms. You're not going to change the exponents at all. Then you want to look for for more like terms. So we have plus 3 plus 8 plus 3 plus 8. So if you add all of that up, that will give you 22. So plus 22. And that is your perimeter. Okay. Now for your area on number one, I'm going to do it right here. So for problem number one, for the area, you're going to do length times width. Well, the length of the rectangle, you can do, it really doesn't matter which side you make the length as long as you're looking at a right angle. So one of these for the right angles has to be a length and one has to be a width. So I'm going to take the x plus 8 and I'm going to multiply it by x plus 3. Okay? So that means that I need to make a box, use the box method. On one side I'm going to put x plus 8, and then on the top I'm going to put x plus 3. Okay, now let's multiply them together. X times x, x squared. 3 times x gives you 3x. X times 8 gives you 8x, and then 3 times 8 gives you 24. So make sure you look for like terms. We have like terms here and here, so we're going to combine those. So our area for number one comes out to be x squared plus 8x plus 3x, oh I'm sorry, let me erase that. We can combine those. So 8x plus 3x is plus 11x, and then we have plus 24. Okay, so problem number 1, we found the perimeter and we found the area. All right, problem number 2 says find the volume of the box. Okay, so from our formula chart, we can see that our volume is length times width times height. So length would be 2x minus 1. Width would be 3x plus 1. And then the height would just be x. Okay, so one thing that I can do here, notice that I have a monomial. Now it's pretty easy to multiply a monomial. A monomial just gets distributed through. But you only have to distribute it through one of the binomials. So if I take x and I multiply it times this binomial, then what I'm going to have is I'm going to have 2x minus 1 that's going to get multiplied by 3x squared plus x. Okay, so I went ahead and I did this part first, and now I'm going to do this. So I want to go ahead and make my box. Put 1 on one side, so 2x minus 1 I'll put on this side, and then on the top 3x squared plus x. And remember, it doesn't matter which side you put the polynomial on, just as long as you multiply them together correctly. Okay, so in this first box I have 3x squared times 2x, which is 6x. Remember, you have to add your exponents, so x to the third. When you multiply, you're following your laws of exponents, so you add the exponents of same bases. Then 2x times x gives you 2x squared. 3x squared times a negative 1. Remember, you're timesing, so that would be a negative 3x squared. And then x times a negative 1 is negative x. All right, so I know this is getting messy, but let me see if I can move this up with the, yeah, there we go. Okay, so the answer for the volume on this problem, we want to look for any terms that we can add together. We can add the negative 3x squared with the 2x squared, so our final answer will be 6x to the third. Then minus 3x squared plus 2 will be a negative 1x squared. And then we have the minus x, because there's nothing that will get added to that. So here's our volume. Okay, so you can see that this is just more multiplying or adding, depending on what it's asking. So the big difference is perimeter, you add, area, and volume, you will be multiplying. All right, fill out your whisk, make sure your notes are filled out completely, and come to class ready to work.